Citizens, you will listen to us. We will be your podcast. Welcome
What?
to Deep Thoughts on
Is that
SNL.
our intro now? Oh,
The
God.
SNL Fantasy League podcast. I'm your guest host, Brian Edwards, filling in for Rob Moulton, who is either working or in jail or in a coma. Who knows? But I'm filling in. I'm back, and I'm here with Kevin Morgan.
I'm here on a podcast.
Yay! And once again, joined by Matthew Smith. Matthew.
Hello, all. Brian, welcome back from Australia.
Yay! Let's not do that accent again.
Oh, that's offensive now that you've been there.
I deeply hurt as a people. No, I got my accent made fun of, so I'm happy to make fun of theirs. Be on home turf again.
Yeah. They
All right, so as I mentioned
a whole bunch of
before,
words.
this is the SNL Fantasy League podcast, so like any other fantasy league, we take SNL and we break it down. We draft cast members, we try to predict hosts, and you get points for appearing in sketches, recurring characters, digital shorts, update, all that fun stuff. And we get really competitive and petty with each other, and it's a good time. And so now we're going to break down this week's episode with Taraji P. Henson. Guys, what do you think overall? What do you like? Matt, what do you think?
Not a whole lot. I mean, I don't feel like it was a great episode overall. I'm like even trying to think of a standout sketch. I don't feel like there's anything that was water cooler or whatever it is people gather around these days. But
The Keurig?
no, it's just sort of
coffee
like
makers?
yes, people gather around those. I imagine waiting their turn because you can only do one at a time. I don't know. I liked 80 Bryant and the QVC sketch, which you just kept posing the whole time, was very amusing to me.
That was your
But-
big takeaway from the episode? Is 80
I don't
Brian as
know.
the QVC model?
Did you have a sketch that you thought was
Yeah,
particularly?
well, Sesame Street. Come on, that was huge. Like, people were saying, how did Sesame Street agree to this? I thought that was pretty good.
I don't know. I didn't feel like there was a whole ton. I guess it was interesting, but there wasn't a ton of jokes. I was surprised that they had got Sesame Street for it, but
I appreciated it more when I saw it on the rewatch day. I like the fact that there are no cast members in the sketch. It's her and the Muppets. That's it. No
Yeah,
SNL people are in that sketch.
yeah, when it first started, I thought it'd be, oh, they're gonna have like their own crappy versions of these puppets. Like, no, wait, these are
Yeah.
the real ones. That's actually Bert and Ernie.
Yes.
And I was really surprised by that coat made out of Elmo joke. It seems pretty dark by Sesame Street standards.
See? Well, that was pretty good. Kevin, what do you think overall?
You know what? I made notes for this because it's going to be on the podcast, and a lot of the notes that I made are more things that I was surprised by, like
Yeah.
Davidson is tall, or I like Colin Joe's suit. There wasn't much on any of the jokes. I mean, it was fine, I guess, but just
Yeah.
nothing memorable.
Yeah, I liked it overall. There's nothing I hated and nothing I thought was outright terrible. Wasn't yelling at the TV like I have before. But again, like Matt said, there's nothing really crazy huge that just blew me away. I mean, I like the Sesame Street sketch a lot, but nothing that just was, like you said, the next day everyone was talking about it. I think probably Sesame Street was the big one.
I feel like Taraji P. Henson sort of maybe threw herself into things almost a
Yeah.
bit too much. It seemed like she was really trying to. Her line readings were always sort of really over the top, like throughout the whole night. I found.
Well, I thought she was pretty good.
So I thought she was game. I didn't. But it's probably better to be enthusiastic than not enthusiastic. But there was a few times where I feel like she may have even killed a joke just by going so over the top with things.
So big. Yeah. All right, let's break it down. Let's go through it a little bit in order here. We have the not surprising Hillary Clinton announcement sketch as the cold open. Some good points for Matt in this one. He has both two of the big players in the sketch. I quite liked it. I tailored the opening after it. Her awkward and enthusiastic and confident attempts at making announcement videos on her phone, and the I don't know where this came from, but the high five where she says "meet my hand in the air."
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I quite like that.
And of course, you had the long overdue return of Daryl Hammond as Bill Clinton. I thought it was a nice touch.
Yeah, I liked her layered jackets when she took one off. She had
Yeah.
the exact same one on underneath. Yeah, and it's all I've been waiting for them to bust out the Hammond Clinton thing
Yeah.
for ever since they announced him as announcer.
I did think it was funny that he ended the sketch doing the live from New York, and then immediately it was him doing the voiceover. I go, well, this clearly isn't a live line reading of the cast member, since he wouldn't be able to get
He was
there.
wearing a headset. You couldn't see.
Yeah. Cue cards on him running. Did you hear about the joke, the Martin O'Malley reference, where she says it sounds like a Simpsons character? Did you hear it? Like, by the end of the episode, he had responded via Twitter and said, "For the record, I've always loved The Simpsons."
It's quick acting. That's the way you get it on the ground floor. That's how you stay. That's how you stay relevant in this game.
That's how it's going to get him past that 3% margin that he's got right now.
Did she make that announcement today? Was it something she was supposed to announce
It's
today?
supposed to happen today. I haven't seen anything about it yet. Everyone's just been like, "Oh, Hillary Clinton makes her announcement," and it's pictures of the sketch from last night.
Right.
On the MTV Awards.
Was that tonight?
MTV?
I think that's tonight. Amy Schumer.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's a good thing the Game of Thrones leaked early, so everyone can just watch music videos get awards, even though they haven't seen the videos.
All right, then we go to the opening monologue where Taraji did a big musical number with the "I Made It," where she has been working in the industry for 20 years, but this is her first big, everyone actually knows who she is now, breakout role. And I think it was like
She's
6
an Oscar
members.
nominee.
Yeah, but like again, she's like, it's nice that some people actually know who I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had like I think 6 cast members came out and they go over things they could have been doing, but now that they've made it. Some of my favorites were Taryn, who could still be performing magic for his parents' friends. Kate could have been behind the counter at Nathan's, but now she's in front of it.
I like Keenan's. I could have been starring in the oldest cast member in Good Burger 7.
Pete could have been a well-adjusted college sophomore.
And Vanessa Bayer could have been the most famous Jewish person out of Cleveland. Just kidding. She already is.
Leslie could have straight up been in jail. She's done stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's had some good I think Rob pointed this out last night. Like it seemed like the audience was completely dead for Taraji P. Henson for a lot of things. It kind of felt like before the show started, she came out and made cracked wise on everybody's mamas or something, and just called everybody fat, and then they were just not willing to go along with her for the rest of the episode, because it just seemed like anything she tried to do, there was like almost stifled laughter coming from the audience.
There was absolutely no response for all the things that she could have been doing.
I think part of it is just the nature of singing jokes. I think that it's harder to. There's no like pause really, because you're just going to the next line, so you have to really pay attention to listen to it.
Yeah.
Especially like it's not like a digital short song like your Little Islands or whatnot, so I don't know. I think just doing a song live with jokes in the middle of it's a little bit trickier for audience reactions.
Yeah, there's not enough room to breathe for a punchline.
Yeah.
And you're singing things, so it's sometimes harder to hear some of the words that get said.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I had to re-listen and pay attention a little bit. I got a little bit more of it today on the rewatch.
There's entire websites dedicated to misheard lyrics for that reason.
That's true. Then we go to our first the commercial break. Where we had the Depends Legends, ways to get your elderly parents actually to use adult diapers by putting old movie stars on them, like Mickey Mantle, Clark Gable, Betty Page, and then they also break out things like the old headlines like Dewey defeats Truman, which was my favorite, the McCarthy hearings. And a thing I didn't notice until the rewatch day was they suggest you trade with friends, so like swapping.
Yeah, I saw that.
Use diapers with your friends. Good, but I mean, it didn't feel like it was like anyone in SNL was really in it. Beck and Vanessa were at the beginning, but then it was mostly about the guest old person.
Right.
Characters that they hired out of some catalog somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the Monk diaper. I enjoy that.
Tony Shalhoub.
Diaper's the last place Monk wants to be.
And the all-female PAs from Law and Order.
Right.
Decent career.
Other than that, didn't leave much of an impression.
Yeah, not one of the best ones, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Kevin, did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. That's about all, actually. I liked it. I liked the things that kind of popped up, but not a big lasting impression. It was good for a little laugh.
Yeah. Then we have probably what I'm guessing is one of the more controversial sketches of the night, if not the most controversial. Got some
Yeah.
vitriol last night, even from within the group. The Hot for Teacher trial, where Pete Davidson's mom, played by Kate McKinnon, was suing his teacher, Cecily Strong, for statutory rape. And Pete is testifying. And it's not going well for the prosecution because he seems to be have enjoyed it quite a bit.
I thought Cecily Strong first looked fantastic.
Yeah, she was great. I loved her reaction. Was that you stupid when he was complimenting her?
You guys are stupid.
You stupid. The
But yeah, it seemed weird. Like basically what was sexual abuse was being turned into the fodder for humor. And it's just the same thing that anybody does when they hear about one of those situations where it's like abuse. I would have killed for my teacher to have done.
well, that's the thing. It's a stereotype.
She looked like all that. Yeah.
When the underage person is a guy, then they get like high fives and yeah, you dub. I mean, that's the reaction. I'm sure a lot of times in real life. Whether it was reversed, where it's the underage was a female and the adult is a male, then then she's victimized and she's considered a slut. Like she's not getting high fives like a guy would, which is what
and they did nothing to subvert that. They just played directly into the same stereotypes because then there was nothing subversive or commenting on it whatsoever.
No,
I enjoyed the list of nicknames that Pete had gotten in school. The Boy Who Lived, I think, was my favorite one. But
my favorite was Supercalifragilistic. This be such a dope kid.
Dope kid.
And Magic the Gathering.
Fred Pimpstone I liked.
Yeah.
Little Baller, Little Pimp.
Lil Pimp.
He describes it as the end of Rudy, where they lifted him out
and he's
on
Rudy.
his shoulder. Yeah.
The Goodyear Pimp, I like this one.
Goodyear Pimp.
Goodyear. Fred Pimpstone.
Yeah.
I did like the little. I didn't even catch it the first time. Was it testified that it brought him closer to his dad, who took him to like a Mets game and bought him his first beer. And it cuts to, I think it was Bobby sitting next to Kate doing like a solemn, like a teary-eyed nod, like he bonded with his son over this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I liked it because it was a nice showcase for Pete, but I can see why people had problems with it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It seemed a little tone deaf to a lot of things that I think we had decided weren't fodder for joking anymore. But
yeah, like I thought, I actually didn't mind the performance. I liked Keenan as a judge, but I didn't like the joke was wrong there. Like the last joke he did was like he fist pumps him. Like that's not how you want to end this sketch. I don't think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think the lawyer, like Taraji's lawyer character, and Kate were the only ones who had a problem with anything going on. Everyone else is like, yeah, this is good.
Right.
And even Henson packs it in by the end. It's like, we
gives up.
Yeah.
Overall, I liked it, but I can see why. Yeah, it's problematic. But if it wasn't problematic, we wouldn't have anything to talk about. The next one, this was not great for me. The Home 2 digital short.
Yeah.
Featuring Taron as Jim Parsons, which I thought was an incredible impression. It was so grating, much like the real Jim Parsons is for me.
There it is. There you are on your hate mission against Jim Parsons once again.
Oh, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
But it's another good impression showcase.
Actually, I didn't feel like any of the impressions were that well done. Besides Jim Parsons.
The only one I really liked was Jay Farrow's Kendrick Lamar.
Really? Yeah. I liked Sofia Vergara. I thought was pretty good. And I actually liked Nicki Minaj, too.
Yeah, she did the good thing of Nicki Minaj talking to herself, doing two characters at once. But
I think she had the look of Nicki Minaj much better than she had the voice.
Yeah, the voice, even her Wanda Sykes a bit later on, I had to sit there and think, does she sound like Wanda Sykes right now? I wasn't entirely sure, so.
Yeah, I thought she did a decent Wanda Sykes. The one that stood out for me, just because it was so fucking creepy, was Pete as D. Antwoord.
One of the D. Antwoord guys,
yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very skinny.
Chappie stars D. Antwoord.
Yeah, creepy.
Got to see
Yeah,
that
but,
chapter.
it was an okay impression showcase, but again, I don't really.
They find ways to do those every
Yeah.
few weeks, like a month or so, where it's like, hey, let's dust off whatever impressions that we
Two
have available.
episodes.
What was that,
What's
Kev?
that?
2 sketches this episode were impression offs.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah. Um, I could have um, used more of Sashir's Rihanna impression.
Yes.
I think she does a very good Rihanna, and because Rihanna is actually in that movie, I would have liked to see more of her reading the character's lines as full-on Rihanna.
Right.
Oh, I did enjoy the absurdity of Leslie as Missy Elliott as well, though.
Mm-hmm.
It was disturbing. I've never heard of Rick Ross, so I couldn't appreciate. I'm sure what was Keenan's
Rick
fine impression.
Ross?
I
Yeah.
have no idea who that is. So
It's probably one of his better impressions, isn't it?
is it?
He did that one. That's recurring for him because he did that one in when Drake hosted. It was the hip hop stars when they got their start,
All right, I'm thinking when I recur.
and he did Rick Ross as a Teletubby.
I did not remember that.
I remember it being quite. I really like that sketch. I remember in the Drake episode. So
Yeah, that's so 2 Chains.
that's how 2 Chains. Yeah.
Right. Next up was, I think, Matt's favorite of the season, the QVC sketch. with his
That's what I
favorite
said. You
character.
quoted me directly.
His favorite character. This one was weird to me. I couldn't figure out quite the game of it at first, and I thought, okay, it's just making fun of weird QVC presenters or whatever, and their weird odd products and all that. But it was just, I think, it was because Kate doing basically to me was Liza Minnelli, but not Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Selling a
I saw
product, and she was doing a bad job of selling it, and apparently a bad job of shipping it too. Those are funny jokes, but it was just, I don't know, an odd sketch for me.
I wrote down Liza Minnelli as Lucio 2 from Arrested.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, it was just, I liked 80 standing there.
hmm
Yeah, 80. I don't think she got much to do tonight, but
No.
she was great in her small moments. I like the QVC intro where it says, "You're watching QVC, which means you're a cat while your owner's gone to work." Hi there, little guy. And it's like the poncho. It's a shame Leah's not on this episode because
it's true.
she was wearing a poncho.
She could be like modeling the poncho right now for
Exactly. It says she looked good enough for an in memoriam reel. And just the callers calling in to say, "Oh, I didn't get it in a box. It was balled up on my lawn," or there was a small dog sent instead.
Yeah, her dog Kiko. You can
Yeah. So it had some weird moments that were fun. It was a different. So it's probably my favorite. And when she said, "Oh, maybe you're supposed to wear it on your legs," no, but then your cooter'd be poking out.
Show.
So
Yeah,
for bizarreness, it certainly worked for me.
I like the way that 80 was modeling it, where she's like lifting it over her face, like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
it." No, wait, you can't see this way, so I
Yeah.
can't. And
Yeah.
the 10-way necklace, where she can't even think of the second way.
way.
It's just a necklace.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one quite a bit, I'd say.
I enjoyed probably the most the end with the next presenter, which is Bobby Moynihan, who's selling
The ladder.
really cheap ladders. He's going to stand on it when we get back.
Mm-hmm. Bobby, yeah, he was basically just small little pieces here and
He
there
was
like that,
very small.
and then the trial one, yeah.
The trial, he didn't say anything. This one, he didn't say anything, but it counts because he was the centerpiece of a joke each time, so I gave him
Yeah.
the full scene.
What was that, Kev?
In the trial, it looks like he mouthed words like "I love you" or "I'm so proud of you" or something.
Yeah, he was very proud of Pete in the trial. This one I thought would have been bigger. I don't think people loved it as much as even I did, and I don't get either of the references that well. But the Game of Thrones South Centros
Yeah.
digital short, I thought this one was bigger. I thought it was pretty good. That was well done. Again, I'm not a Game of Thrones person, so I'm sure I missed a lot of the jokes, but I think I got the gist of it.
I thought the costumes were so well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, the production design was definitely there. It had a very good feel of it being like a Game of Thrones episode, costume-wise and set-wise. And Nikolai Coster-Waldau rode by on a horse, Jaime Lannister himself. So they got the blessing there, but there didn't seem like there was a whole lot of jokes to it.
Well, I think the joke was that it was a mashup of Game of Thrones and Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, but it didn't go anywhere after that. They touched on it a little bit, but then.
I
mean, this was probably like when Taraji P. Henson showed, and they had the argument with Jay's character about my father died and it's your fault or something. And you're like, hey, he went to a red wedding. And she's like, red wedding and everybody died. And she's crying. It's like, there's no joke there. She's just referencing something that did happen on the TV show. And she didn't subvert or come up with anything different for it in any way. And
well,
so...
yeah. I mean, yeah, I get that, I suppose, but I like the thing with Sashir where she's saying people die here all the time, suddenly, and for no damn reason, and then she gets killed off.
Yeah.
It was Keenan, I want to say. I can't remember.
No, it was Leslie as basically
that's right. Yeah, and they have that
Lady Brienne of Toth sort of role.
Where Leslie and Jamie Lannister at the end, and they do like the little finger tap on the shoulders, like Lannister cousins for life or whatever it was.
No, don't hate the Slayer.
Yeah, don't hate the Slayer, hate the game.
Because he's the Kingslayer on Game of Thrones, Brian. You should be doing your research for this.
I don't. I guess I should have watched those 4 leaked episodes earlier.
Yeah.
Instead of prepping for the show.
I wouldn't. Right. Not that I watched any of those, because that'd be illegal. Keep it down, Internet. Shh.
She got killed off by just an archer just shooting her. That was the perfect time to do something resembling a drive-by.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I did like the moment of Jamie Lannister going by on the horse, and they're just showing him and Keenan as Ice Cube are showing each other their swords. Like, what? Yeah, you want to do this? I'm good too.
Was Ice Cube, again, and this is going to show my ignorance, in Boys in the Hood? Because I don't know what the point of having Ice Cube in it.
Because it's probably one of the impressions that Keenan can do.
Or that Ice Cube does a lot of acting now.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe. I mean, like, Ice Cube's been on before. Like, Jay Fair, I think, did Ice Cube, at least as a voiceover.
It was a Deep Blue Sea reference.
Yeah. Deep Blue Sea. Yeah, I did. It was fun. That was weird. That it was like the one, like, featuring Ice Cube. But everyone else is like, there's no one else who's like doing.
Ice Cube's not in Deep Blue Sea. It's LL Cool J. That was racist of me. No, Ice Cube was in Anaconda. Ice Cube was in Anaconda. I'm getting my episodes of How Did This Get Made
mixed up. We'll blame it on that.
I caught it myself, so it's not racist.
Let's see. Then we got Mumford & Sons sang songs in the wrong order.
Pass.
Sang The Wolf first.
Keep going.
And then Believe.
Pass. Keep going.
Kevin, you love Mumford & Sons.
Kevin, you're a big fan of Mumford & Sons?
Not when they play them in the wrong order.
I think we all got burned on that. Everyone predicted the single to be played first, as per tradition.
Their boring Coldplay-esque single, yes.
Oh, we got burned. Burned, baby. We're going to jump to updates. What do you think about update this week? Matt, you're a big fan of both the anchors.
I'm like tonight or last night, I guess. It seems like there's just two competing styles of humor going on there that just don't mesh well with each other. Like I'm not a particularly big fan of either of them, but there's just something where Michael Che has a tendency to riff on the jokes, and that might not be scripted, and Jost doesn't necessarily have that tendency. So it doesn't mesh as well. They're not commenting on what each other does. And especially where Joseph sort of just does the punchlines as written, when Che will comment on something he says, and it's almost like he's piling on the Jost every now and then. And there's no response, basically. There's no call and response to it.
But I can only assume that my favorite moment of the entire episode possibly was unscripted, and it was Jost when Che saying that the NCAA riots happened the same way white people always riot, with no consequences. Cut to Colin. Hey.
Yeah.
That was adorable.
I like that, but he held for a laugh on that a really long time. But yeah, I enjoy. I like the 7-Eleven joke, where I guess they had a thing where if you brought your own cup, you could fill it. And it's like if you missed it, you can just do it today. What's the worst thing that could happen? You get kicked out of a 7-Eleven? That's the best thing that can happen.
Some okay jokes. There was the obvious Hillary Clinton. At the Game of Thrones, Hillary Clinton joke.
I thought it was pretty obvious. You could see where it was going.
I did like the. She's got like a huge lead over her next competitor, which is the margin of error, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
The the Apple Watch got the biggest like groan / almost a boo from the audience.
Oh, when, they line.
Police don't want a camera on the watch because it's they don't want anyone shooting pictures. It's the one thing they don't like to shoot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought that was good. I enjoyed that.
Appropriate response, but yeah, that was pretty. And then we have our
Michael Che played Racist Prover, where they put up the Maya Angelou stamp.
So good.
Stella Reese. It's like, no, it's actually Toni Morrison.
As I was looking at it, and he said it was Della Reese, I go, is it? I guess she looks different than how I remembered her, because it's been a while since Touched by an Angel, if that was what her fish was on. But then he said, just kept building from there. I was like, oh. What else was good? Oh, and then we have Cecilia Jimenez coming back,
Mm-hmm.
recurring for Kate. Just talk about the Lucille Ball statue. Seems to be getting a lot of people said I hadn't heard about this until this. I go, how have you not heard about the stupid statue? Just seemed to me it's getting a lot of press, but people seem to not have heard about it until tonight or last night.
I think I read a headline about it, but I didn't know much about it myself. That sort of thing didn't really interest me to click on it, I guess. But I like how she described it like Polly Walnuts. I thought that was clever.
True.
As you tap your mug.
Um,
It was weird how they sort of like brought that character back. Like, this is a character that you'll never see again, and then they
Well,
found some weird
It
tangent.
made perfect sense to bring her back for this story.
I know, but it still seemed really weird that they were able to find a way to use that character again.
You know when they're going through like the pitching ideas, like we bring back Celia Jimenez, and we're talking about like, of course, like the case, like yes, yes, yes. Like again, one of those characters you don't think is ever going to come back, but is perfectly suited by an actual news story.
True.
Some good ones. Bring your
And then
car.
Jacob Bar Mitzvah Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Jacob with
I-
Seth. And not because it was Seth, because I know it was a good relationship, but the fact that they're bringing back Jacob and have the exact same dynamic just boggles my mind. Why didn't you do something different? You have a different anchor to bounce off of. Why are you doing the same thing?
Are you underestimating the completely different dynamic that one Mr. William Crystal brings to the proceedings?
That was a big twist. Finally got
Yeah.
to see Jacob's dad.
Yeah, he, I don't know. It seemed very much in line with what I would expect Billy Crystal to do.
Yes, very much. Like I have nothing really against Billy Crystal. I don't have no interest in his comedian's show with Josh Gad, but I felt like people were like, who was that? Who was it? Sarah or Megan was like, is this Vanessa Bayer's last episode? They seem to be giving her a lot.
I
to
said
do.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because she probably got more points tonight than she's gotten all the season combined, because she was
Yeah.
like in every single
It
sketch.
was like her swan song. She got Jacob. She was in the cold open. She was in digital shorts. She had multiple sketches,
Monologue, yeah.
voiceovers, everything.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
perfect
you'll see
game.
when we get to the point. So it was a generous night for Vanessa tonight.
Full bingo card.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Billy Crystal. I mean, the last time he hosted the Oscars, and like every joke he would say, he'd sort of mug for the camera just a little bit, like waiting for the end. There was something about this turned me off of him for life. And I don't know, Jacob is sort of exactly that kind of character, the kind who says a very terrible joke and then waits for people to react to
Yeah,
it.
that is exactly Jacob's character. Jacob waits
So-
for the.
Yeah.
Jacob's like an old vaudeville comedian.
Yeah. And I rolled my eyes when he did the "you look marginally larger."
Yeah.
I didn't mind that.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Did not play well in Matland.
It got a good reaction from the crowd. People were like all excited as he started saying it.
Yeah, I heard them sort of like there was like two people who like figured out what was going on early on.
People over 35 in the crowd who got that.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a decent one. There were some good jokes. The Ben Carson one was okay. He wants to get rid of the selfie stick because like I don't think he understands what presidents actually do.
Is Ben Carson a guy? Like
He's one of the Republican frontrunners.
they don't matter.
No, they're gonna be. I'm
I got
sure he's
political.
leading at some point.
Yeah.
The bathroom lines at Wrigley Field had a good joke with the people are peeing in
That sounds
beer
like
cups.
a nightmare.
Yeah.
That sounded horrific.
And like, hey, free beer! Oh no!
Did anyone see the pictures?
No, is there pictures? I don't want to see those
God.
pictures.
There are pictures. There's of a whole line of cups.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Gross.
That's it's probably not the worst thing that's going to happen to the Cubs this year. So
Yeah, I get sport jokes.
yeah, Cubs humor.
All right, then we're gonna jump into Hollywood Game Night, aka Celebrity Jeopardy, because it's basically the same joke. Celebrities are stupid.
I don't get tired of that Nick Offerman impression out of Beck Bennett though.
There were some good impressions. I enjoyed them. There was Terrence Vin Diesel continues to delight me.
Yeah.
No, I'm Vin Diesel.
Is Vin Diesel even that jacked as they make him look?
Give him some nice.
Like I think Vin Diesel once upon a time was, but I'm looking at him in Furious 7. It's like he seems chubby in certain areas.
Is it because he's standing beside the rock?
It could be because he's standing next to the Rock, and that makes anybody look smaller.
Yeah, and fad.
I think that 80's got a better impression than Winona Judd because it seems so out of place with everyone else.
Yeah, but I loved like the whole I want to look good for mama. And when she starts
Same,
brushing her hair with a horse brush,
same brush they use on the horses.
I'm gonna answer with a 7-minute song about the Lord.
Yeah, I thought Winona Judd was a good fit as like a celebrity that would be on
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was a good impression, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
It made more sense to me than Common. Jay Farrow's impression was good, but I don't know if Common would ever be on this show.
Well, neither would Vin Diesel,
Well, I could say that's
but
more likely.
and the first time they did, and neither would Marianne Cotillard. But yeah,
I loved her. If we lose, I'm gonna cry, but like we could cry in France, and it cuts to, like a black and white shot where it's doing this big weird artsy thing.
Common was on Hell on Wheels, so I'm pretty sure he'll do
Oh, that's true.
whatever. But no, but I guess for the Golden Globes and the Oscars, he did a whole lot of that sort of.
Yeah, stand up and
Yeah, and I thought it worked. I think it's a good impression of Common.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was a weird choice, and I'm not sure everybody in the audience necessarily knows who Common is, but
Yeah.
but
I
he was
appreciate-
very public in the past few months.
I appreciated it for the points.
Hmm.
Of course, Kate was once again Jane Lynch and just killing it as Jane Lynch. I thought she did a really, really good job.
Hmm.
I loved her. I'm psyched to be done with Glee line and the nice high kicks.
I like the cutaway to Chris Pine also.
The tear-stained face.
Yes, because was it Gloria at the Oscars that made him cry?
It was. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that was a lovely dog boat as he flexes.
It was a dog boat, and what was the other idea for Titanic?
Selma.
Selma.
Selma. Yeah. Glory.
I did enjoy the Nick Offerman's mustache won't stop growing, even though he shaved
Mhm.
10 minutes before.
Such a good impression.
That was
Oh God, it's good.
And I like how Kate introduces the game. So it's like, again, this is a real game played by millionaires.
It's a game
And-
created by adults who are paid for their work.
Yeah. She's very dismissive of it, and I enjoy it because I like being dismissive of things.
Yes. It's the same. I mean, that's the same basic premise as your Celebrity Jeopardy, and I'm sure other game show spoofs on there where just celebrities are stupid people.
Hmm.
But it's fun because you get to see a lot of impressions, and it's a nice showcase for like 7 members of the cast.
It's true.
Yeah. Although Kyle and Vanessa did not get much due. They got to be, hey, glad to be here.
This is the first time you saw Kyle Mooney all night.
Yeah, he had a quiet night.
I did like that Kyle just said, "Okay, ready to play," and then shrugged to the camera, while Vanessa was so energized.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
did like Vanessa's justification for picking Vin Diesel because he's having trouble breathing and she thinks he might need to stand up. Ugh. I did enjoy it.
I like that Vin Diesel. I like that Vin Diesel
Yeah,
impression.
I liked Taraji's Wanda Sykes where she's like guessing Brad Pitt was actually Rabbi Titi. Like,
Mhm.
why would you think it's Rabbi Titi? I don't know. You're the one asking me who Rabbi Titi is.
Mhm.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I like Wanda Sykes, so I appreciated that. And what's here? Luke, I am your worst nightmare.
I also enjoyed that.
Yeah.
All right, then we're gonna get to a recurring character for Sashir. We're bringing Janelle back, Janelle and Teddy
Mhm.
from Moody's second sketch of the night.
Yeah. I
Where
thought
we
that-
also-
Have they done this?
yeah, they've done it before.
Yeah. It was in the Chris Rock episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, we ended really awkwardly. Like Rock was stumbling on his lines. He stared. Like it ends with him looking directly into the computer, and it lingers on him just a bit too long. I remember. So it didn't seem like it worked all that much, but so I was a little surprised to see it again. But it was better this time around.
Yeah.
Only a little bit, I'd say.
What,
The joke.
Did Jay play her brother the first time?
I think so.
I can't remember if that was a new character recurring.
I think so. I liked him a lot this time, especially when he runs into the room at the very end and starts shutting down the computer.
The idea that him and his friends are watching it in the other room.
Yeah.
Like when she comes in as the mama says, "Do I know how to twerk? What's this comment?" She's like looking at the computer real closely, and
Mhm.
she's like, oh, when the two of them were like grinding up on Kyle, like thrusting him back and forth between them.
Yeah.
She's something into the role. I thought was pretty good.
I enjoyed when she shows Shashir, or Janelle, if you will,
Yeah.
the dance moves, and she's like, says, it hurts everything.
That's how you know it's working.
Yeah. Oh, and he keeps telling Jay to go outside and rake the garbage,
Yep.
which doesn't even make any sense.
And of course, Kyle as Teddy gets another erection at the inopportune moment.
Erection humor.
Yeah, I like to know. I didn't surprise me that they're going to bring it back. It was like they like having those like more modern format for sketches. In this case, it's a YouTube channel.
Hmm.
It's a good showcase for that kind of thing.
I have no further opinions on this sketch.
Kevin,
Chris Rock is married to Taraji P. Henson in SNL.
that's true.
Yeah, that's canon
Oh,
now.
the SNL verse. You have to introduce some more family members next time someone else hosts.
I'm pretty sure he's single now. Didn't his marriage just recently end?
Was Keenan in one of these in this before too?
I think there's only been 2 iterations of it, so.
Remember, it feels like a Keenan would have been in the sketch before. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
One of the friends who's watching her in the next sketch.
No, you would have heard him.
You would have heard him watching. You would have heard him watching.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then we're gonna go to my favorite sketch tonight, the Sesame Street sketch featuring Cookie from Empire, coming in to show the Sesame characters what's what. Where Bert and Ernie, or Ernie's trying to trade, I think, an apple for a cookie, and Cookie and Drew are saying, "No, Bert, he's trying to play you."
Ernie and Bert look different than I remember them.
You think they're a different material now?
The puppets have been changed slightly.
Or CGI.
Yeah, those the eyebrows used to keep breaking down on Bert, so they had to go with a new technology.
Yeah, I was happy to see that a lot of the same Muppets were there. Like Big Bird and Snuffleupagus are still there. Big Bird is obviously.
I saw. Is it Abby Cadabby? Is that the one that's like a fairy?
Yeah, I don't know the new ones.
I didn't know who that was.
And there was one that showed up who I think was talking to her when she was wearing the Elmo coat and was like, and I didn't recognize who that guy was.
The Elmo coat was the best.
We talked about that already.
Yes, but it was still really good.
Okay. Just looking out for the listener. Like, so they're saying, didn't they already talk about that?
Callbacks. My favorite, I actually had to rewind and listen again because I was laughing so hard the first time when they have like the on-screen tags: betrayal, revenge, sing-alongs.
I thought Henson did a good job eating a cookie like Cookie Monster as well.
Yeah, that was good.
But as a fan of chocolate chip cookies, it hurt me to watch it all falling onto the ground.
I had Rob make that into the YouTube avatar and the iTunes avatar this week.
Yeah, that's not a bad choice.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'll support it.
He said, "Which one? What sketch do you want as the icon?" I said instantly, within seconds, "Oh, Sesame Street for sure, for sure." You
just meant an episode of Sesame Street.
Yeah, exactly.
Preferably one brought to you by the letter P. That's my favorite letter.
P is for puppet.
I didn't mean to even do that. I just put the letter.
We set up for the end of the sketch. Yeah, I like that. I was impressed that they actually got Sesame Street to do that sketch.
Thank you, Children's Television Workshop.
Yeah. You're pretty cool. Let me get to, I think it might be Rob's favorite recurring character of Keenan, Reese DeWutt in the Cinema Classic, where he's introducing the classic Their Own League, featuring Taran Killam and I think just about every female member of the cast except Sashir.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. It was good. I mean, obviously you're playing on a league of their own, and they tried to Taraji. I did. Go ahead.
Oh, I did enjoy the intro with Reese DeWutt, where he's not a very good guesser. The other night, my wife asked me, I was going to guess what I was going to do in bed. It's like, I don't know, let me be. That I very much did enjoy.
I like the breakdown of why they're not going to let Taraji's character and Leslie Jones's characters. Like, first, we're going to have white women play, then black men, then all women pitching underhand.
I think my favorite line of the night might have been, while our husbands are away, we're the racists.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
I thought that was great.
And when Leslie Jones, can I play? Like, oh shoot, we could really use her. Forget her for baseball. We could use her in the war.
Yeah. Yeah, it was enjoyable, and clearly the League of Our Own sort of thing going on there, and especially with there's no sobbing in baseball.
A League of Their Own had come out just 2 years before, which I don't know how this is a lost classic if this came out in the 90s.
But yeah, it was.
Made it to theaters, according to.
Yeah. And then we get to the second Mumford and Sons songs, Believe. We'll just skip over that. As much as Matt and Kevin are both huge Mumford and Son fans. We've discussed that. So now that's going to be the other song we'll use in the podcast version. We'll pick your favorite Mumford & Sons song. What's your favorite one, Matt?
The Cave? I don't know.
The one with all the instruments?
With the banjo and whatnot? Maybe there's a lute involved, I'm not sure.
Man, I don't think they had banjos last night.
They changed their sound entirely.
This new, yeah, it was a big thing. Like they're dropping banjos from their sound entirely, and it's basically like Dylan going electric. They sound like Coldplay now.
I wouldn't say Coldplay. They're much.
Believe sounds a lot like Coldplay.
I guess, yeah. The Wolf.
The Wolf, I don't know what that was, but it wasn't what I associate with Mumford & Sons.
No.
We'll see what their fans say about it. We'll see how this one does.
I got some positive vibes when I was doing the Twitter last night. People seem to like it.
Posmens.
It's true. Last sketch night, the 10-to-1 sketch was Connectatron.
Mm-hmm.
The basically what Voltron type sketch where they're fighting Sharkosaur, which is one of my favorites. I had to dig for that name of the monster they're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Where her character's name was Mavis, as Taraji's character, refused to join up with the others when they were forming the Voltron type character, because what Dutch had done. Ask Dutch, which is Bobby's character, and I think he had just bumped into her in the hallway, and that was the source of her issue.
Something on herself or something like that. I don't know. There seemed like a lot of costumes and like special effects and whatnot went into like a 2-to-1 sketch.
Right.
It seemed like it got cut short too, because as soon as she takes over and it's she starts controlling the robot fight, and then basically the title screen goes up, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
It may have been like it may have run out of time in general. But
Definitely ran out of time. It's such an abrupt ending.
yeah, the fight didn't even end. So.
Take my earrings off. I'm gonna whip your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. And a decent 10-to-1.
Yeah, if you're a Power Rangers fan, you probably geeked out for it, but
Yeah. Someone said that Key and Peele did it better, and they posted a link to the Key and Peele version of a similar idea.
oh, here we go again, another copyright.
Simpsons did it first.
Stealing sketches away from
Oh
people.
boy. Oh boy. So overall, I thought Taraji did a really good job. She said she was really game. She really threw herself in everything. In some cases, maybe a little bit much, but I didn't find anything wrong with that. I thought she was pretty fun, and I like that she had some good chemistry with the cast. Seeing her in the monologue, she was like pretty cute with everyone doing their little songs.
Yeah, she really put herself into it.
Yeah.
So I felt the episode on the whole was a bit of a letdown for someone who's so into it, so game for doing it.
Yeah, I think she was game. I think she tried a little too hard at times throughout the night, but sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So yeah, but I can't fault. I'm always appreciate when someone is just completely game and will throw themselves into everything.
First time host, really enthusiastic. Like she seemed to really, really have fun. Like her Twitter afterwards, was like, "This was the best.
Yeah,
so much fun." She seemed to be really, and like she was in a lot. Like if we want to just segue into her points.
Yay!
For a first-time host, she got, well, my count, again, this is all unofficial, but my count, she had 56 points last night.
That, was that good or bad for most?
Well, she sang, she was in 6 sketches, which is pretty huge for a host.
Like the average host earns per episode, or?
Average is about between 50 to 70, I think.
Okay, so 56 isn't that good?
Well, it's pretty decent. There's some that have been lower. We've had lower ones.
Oh, okay.
She's in 3 digital sketches, she did a constructive swear, she sang. She did as much as you could expect.
I love anybody just tuning into this and just heard the term constructive swear and have no idea what just happened.
Rather than being a swear that wasn't planned, this was a planned swear.
Yes.
Where she said ass.
Ass.
And then, of course, I think we all know who the #1 point getter from the regular cast was. Does anyone want to wager a guess? Matt, perhaps.
I'm going to assume Kate McKinnon.
Kevin?
Vanessa Bayer.
You're both right. They were the top 2. Kate McKinnon with, by my count, 71 points.
Yeah. And I
Cold open, live from New York, 3 recurring characters, update, 4 sketches. She sang, she's in the monologue.
She was all over the place. Yeah.
She was all over the place. You could throw a stick at a sketch and hit Kate McKinnon. That's how that works. And then Vanessa Bayer, by my count, 58 points.
Yay! I'll take it.
Again, cold open. She's with a former cast member, singing, digital, voiceover, recurring, 2 sketches. She's all over the place last night. She did a strong night. And I think the next up was Keenan with 49. A decent, if normal, turnout for Keenan. Low end of the main cast, I think, was Bobby. Fortunate for me, with 18 points.
Cecily had a quiet night, did she not?
Cecily was 30. Not bad. Sketches, those shorts, post-so sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's decent. And on the featured players, Leslie Jones with 34, and then Pete Davidson 27. Low end was Beck at 17.
Back at 17?
Yeah. Unless you want to count Nicholas Coster-Waldau with 7 points and Daryl Hannah with 12.
Beck, yeah, but he was in that digital thing at the beginning, and he was in the
short, one sketch, and he recurred in that sketch.
But he was also the host of the CNN sketch.
Oh, you're right then. 2 sketches.
Yeah, so that, and he was Nick Offerman, and he was in the commercial parody.
Yeah. So Kyle Mooney with 20 points is on your low end there.
Yeah, suck it, Mooney.
Yeah. Zashir had 32. That's pretty good. Good for Zashir. All right, so let's play some games.
If we have to.
For some SNL games. So we've got one game which the winner of this, I have to set up my my screen here. The winner of this will get to go first in the next game. And basically we're going to do a little variation of Last Man Stanton. Kevin, if you're familiar with the Doug Love Movies game.
I am not.
Where you're going to be listing a lot of things from a certain category. This category is not a person, it's not a director or an actor, but instead, you're going to be listing as many as you can members of the 5 Timers Club. As hosts who have hosted the show 5 times or more. And since Matt, you logged in first, you're going to get to go first.
So I'm going to say one, and then Kevin's going to say one, and we go back and forth?
Yes.
Okay. Justin Timberlake.
All right. Tom Hanks.
Steve Martin.
Alec Baldwin.
John Goodman.
Candice Bergen.
Yep.
That's a good one. Christopher Walken.
Yep.
Danny DeVito.
Correct.
Drew Barrymore?
Yep.
Oh, gee, Paul Simon.
Yep. Although he has a little asterisk. He's technically only hosted 4 times, but he's been musical guest, so they count him as a 5-timer.
Buck Henry.
Buck Henry is correct.
I'm out, I think. No, I'm drawing a blank.
Oh.
Matt, can you swoop in for the win?
Well, I went first, so I think I already won anyway, but Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase is correct. You also have the biggest one of all, Alec Baldwin.
I said Alec Baldwin.
He said Alec Baldwin.
Okay. You also have Ben Affleck at 5.
Oh.
Elliot Gould at 6.
All right.
Steve Martin, 15. I don't remember who said
I
Steve
said
Martin.
Steve Martin.
Bill Murray at 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it.
Okay.
My
well done.
tiebreaker for that was who was the first to get to it and who was the only other person to get to it in less than 4 years.
I think Buck Henry might have been the first to get to it.
Buck Henry was the second one to get to it.
Oh, yeah? Candice Bergen?
No, Steve Martin. He got it in 1 year and 181 days.
Jesus.
Yeah. All right, so Matt, you're going to go first in the next game.
I just want it more. I just want it more.
All right, so we're going to be doing our host and musical guest matching game, where I give you a list of hosts, list of musical guests. You tell me who hosted with which musical guests. The theme, I like to go with themes for these. So these 2 of them. Matt, you'll pick which grouping you want first.
Okay.
The theme is April Fools. Those are hosts and musical guests who have hosted episodes in an April episode. Pretty simple. So do you want grouping A or grouping B?
So winning the last game gives me the honor of choosing the letter A or letter B.
Yes.
A.
A. All right. So your list of hosts
Uh-huh.
in alphabetical order
Okay, that's fair.
are Courtney Cox,
I know her.
Helen Hunt,
I know her.
and Sharon Stone.
I'm aware of her as well.
And
Alliteration, all 3.
Oh, you're true. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are not going to be illiterate here. Your musical guests in alphabetical order are
Illiterate.
Dave Matthews Band,
Mm-hmm.
Pearl Jam,
Mm-hmm.
and Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Snoop Doggy Dog?
Mm-hmm.
It says that? Okay,
Yep.
because that's important. That's important. Hmm. Helen Hunt, Courtney Cox, Sharon Stone. Um. mm, Let's say Helen Hunt and Dave Matthews Band, Courtney Cox and Pearl Jam, and Sharon Stone with Snoop Doggy Dog.
Matt, you got 0 correct.
Try that
It's
again.
Helen Hunt and Snoop Doggy Dogg, Courtney
Mhm.
Cox with the Dave Matthews Band, and Sharon Stone and Pearl Jam.
There you go.
I'm sorry to hear that, Matt.
No Kevin to steal?
Kevin could steal this. There's going to be another game after this, so this is not the win here, but this will give you a lead. So your celebrity hosts are, again in alphabetical order, Christopher Reeve, Gina Davis, and John Lithgow. Your musical acts, again in alphabetical order, are Anita Baker, John Cougar Mellencamp, and Santana.
Wow. That is tough.
I'm trying to remember if any of these are in my lifetime.
I believe your grouping where I
Santana.
tried to pick similar years, so there's not like someone from the 90s, someone from the 70s. I think yours were largely in the mid 80s.
Let's go with Christopher Reeve and Santana, John Lithgow and Mellencamp and Gina Davis and Anita Baker.
You got one of those correct. You got Chris Reeve and Santana. It was John Lithgow and Anita Baker, and then Gina Davis, John Cougar Mellencamp. So Kevin is in the lead here, and he's going to go first since he's in the lead. When we go into Sketch or Sketchy, our final game, Sketch or Sketchy Commercial Spoof Edition. So I'm going to give you a grouping of commercials, 3 of them from SNL. 2 of them are real commercial spoofs. One of them is a fake commercial that I made up, / took an existing one and altered it in some way, because that's how I do these. It's like 3 o'clock on a Sunday, so I was like, I'm not thinking of an entirely new one, I'm just going to change one. Right, so your first grouping, I tried to come up with, I tried to keep them relatively in theme with each other, too. Your first grouping are ads for toys. So your first, your 3 are, they have to choose from, the Mr. Mom Action Playset, Chess for Girls, and Rubik's Grenade. Which one of those is the fake commercial that I made up?
Rubik's Grenade.
Incorrect. Rubik's Grenade was an actual SNL commercial. It was actually the Mr. Mom Action Playset was the one I made up.
Darn.
All right, Matt. If you're ready for your 3 SNL spoof commercials, you have to choose between you're choosing between Kotex Extreme, Hey You, a perfume for one-night stands, and Maybelline for men, makeup for men.
The last one.
Incorrect.
All
Maybelline
right.
for men was an actual commercial. The one I made up was actually Kotex Extreme.
Well, that should be real, though.
All right, Kevin, your 3 groupings are.
Am I right, ladies?
This is
No, I'm not? Okay, I'll shut up.
These are fun, all right? So, Kevin, you have to choose between which one of these is fake. Was it Kate and Ali, the Katharine Hepburn Living with Muhammad Ali sitcom, Law and Order Traffic Court, or Fear Factor Jr.?
Kate and Ali.
Kate and Ali is an actual SNL commercial.
And I think I remember Fear Factor Jr.
Fear Factor Jr., I think, was a more recent one. All right, so no one's gotten any of these right yet. It surprised me. I'm always paranoid that mine is so obviously a fake one. I guess not. All right, Matt, you are choosing between CNN Pregnancy Test, which delivers relentless breaking news, Dynasty the Home Game, or the Love Toilet?
Dynasty the home game.
Correct.
Ah.
The actual commercial was Dallas the home game, where your dysfunctional family can resolve problems like the Ewings do on Dallas.
Nailed it.
All right, so we got a tie right now. Kevin, you can take the lead here. If you can choose between That's Not Yogurt for the makers of Those Aren't Olives, Swill, the mineral water from Lake Erie, and Juice, the drink for the chosen people.
The first one.
That's Not Yogurt was an actual product. I believe it was Victoria Jackson and I want to say Kevin Nealon.
So when you say actual product.
Actual product from the show.
Okay.
Yeah, Juice, the drink for the chosen people. I just made that one up out of nowhere.
Oh, that was
Racist.
And so that was it for Sketch or Sketchy. So we actually end with a tie.
You only made 5?
I made 5 of those. That was a lot of work.
Why do you make odd numbers of these things when you know 2 people are playing?
Oh, I didn't think even numbers
You
would
did
help.
this last time. What is wrong with you?
You could have each gotten 2 if I did 4. I figured you would have gotten more points out of the host
Good.
matching one. So we can do a tiebreaker here.
He gets a point for the second game, but I don't get a point for the first game.
No, because the first game I explained was only to determine who goes first. So
I
we're
got
going to do a
bullshit on all
tiebreaker here.
this.
We're going to do a tiebreaker here.
But fair. Tough.
You're both going to write down a number on a piece of paper and show it to the camera when I tell you what the category is here.
What'd you say? I threw down my headphones in anger.
You're going to have a tiebreaker here.
I was chanting tough but fair.
Call back to real life.
All right, here. So I'm going to give you. We're going back to the 5 Timers Club,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to write down a number. So you got to get ready to write down. You need a piece of paper and a pen or something to write it down. And you're going to show it to camera after you've both written down your answer.
Okay.
And whoever is closest in number without going over Price is Right rules is going to be the winner.
Okay.
All right. So in years and days total. So if like anything less than 365 days. Counts as the number of days. For example, 17 years and 3 days, or 16 years and 354 days. So you're going to write down in years and days how long it took. Let's see here. The person who achieved the 5 Timers Club in the longest period of time in years and days. Whoever it took the longest to get into the 5 Timers Club. You don't have to know who it is. You have to write down the year and number of days that it took them. And when you're both ready, let me know, and you can hold up your numbers and read them aloud. It's an audio podcast as well.
Well, I'm going to write down a number.
So again, you're writing a year, number of years, and number of days.
Right.
With it. So like, if it took them 6 years and 3 days between their first hosting and when they reached 5 Timers Club, that's where you write down.
I'm ready.
Okay.
This whole camera part's going to play really well in the audio podcast.
Well, you're going to read it aloud as well.
You can do it for me.
Well, I don't think I'll be able to read it.
You have a camera.
All right, ready.
All right. So Matt, you show first. Kevin, hold it up. You wrote down, pulled it back a little bit. You're too close. So you wrote down 16 years and 3 days. Kevin, 13 years and 3 days.
13 days.
13. The correct answer, and does any guess on who it is?
Christopher Walken?
Kevin? No points to this, but just out of curiosity. Which 5-timer do you think took the longest to do it?
Yeah, I'd say Christopher Walken as well, actually.
The correct answer is Drew Barrymore, and it took 24 years and 75 days.
Why are you
Congratulations,
celebrating?
Matt.
Wait.
I said 16 years. You said 13.
Oh, I thought that was a 6. Damn it.
So Matt is our winner. Even though he threw down his earphones in protest earlier.
I win under protest.
You win under protest.
Yeah. This is all going for review under the peer board that legislates these games.
Well, then you did it. Congratulations, Matt.
Yay! I'm happy with it.
So just a few news items this week. Nothing huge. The FCC. There was an FCC report on the Atlantic about the number of complaints and sketches they've gotten complaints for from SNL over the years. I think it expires like every 3 or 4 years. Like they chuck them, so there's no like sketches from the '80s listed there. But things like Dick in a Box got a lot of complaints. I think just anything Lonely Island Dead got complaints.
Mm-hmm.
What else was there that they mentioned? There was an amusing read. If anyone hasn't checked it out on the Atlantic, it's like theatlantic.com.
Yeah, I skimmed that. It was hilarious. Just people angry about words that air at like 12:15 at
They're
night.
not prudes, but
Yeah. The one that I definitely enjoyed the most was somebody who said something to the turn. I think it was. I don't remember what sketch they were referencing, but I guess there were some men who kissed in a sketch, and they were angry about like the show was being anti-Christian, and then they're like, so you're anti-Christian, but you're pro-homosexuality, and they were asking such a way like they were the voice of reason, where it's like, do you not understand? It's like, you are of an old world.
Not surprisingly, the Jesus Uncrossed got a lot of complaints.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a lot of like the think pieces after that aired. Dick in a Box was a big one. Just in general, Lady Gaga and Miley Cyrus got a lot of complaints.
People just don't like them existing.
No.
I don't think they did anything particularly offensive on any of their episodes.
Was it Richard Pryor using the N-word? So apparently they had that record of that one.
Yeah.
The N-word should have been bleeped. Kind of missing the point there. Oh, it looks like Drunk Uncle got complaints as well. That's just weird.
He reminds me of my drunk uncle.
The Drunk Uncle character made several vulgar and inappropriate statements regarding breasts. He used several nicknames for them.
I will enumerate them now.
Simply put, an actress portraying a porn star made a direct reference to manually stimulating a horse. The term jacked off a horse was used.
I love that this is something that these people need to write down at some point.
Exactly. Oh,
That's
God.
the best part.
How much easier Twitter has made that for people, unfortunately. Like,
Jacking off a horse, you mean?
yeah, yes, exactly.
So,
good news, bad news. Unsurprisingly, Mulaney seemingly is officially canceled.
yay. Our long national nightmare is over.
Something
Go
better
do something
to
good,
do.
John. Go do something good, John.
Yes, please. Go on tour. Do your stand-up. You're amazing. And Last Man on Earth has officially been picked up for season 2. Yay!
That's a weird show that I can't believe has gotten as many episodes that it has. And
not only that, but it's doing really well in the ratings, too.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's done like obviously the first one unsurprisingly did well because I think it was going to draw eyeballs no matter what, but it's been keeping up numbers pretty well, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a weird
consistently good.
gimmick, and it's working for people.
Yeah, I'll take it. And if anyone hasn't seen it yet, the trailer for the Saturday Night Live documentary Live from New York is online. I think it was on slashfilm.com had it, but I'm sure you can find it anywhere. It actually, like, I remember Rob posted it in the group, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, that's okay. He's like, oh, I'm so excited for this. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Let me just, I clicked on it, and I started getting excited, like, watching. It's like, ooh, this is exciting. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'll definitely check it out.
So I'll try and duplicate the experience both of you had.
I think it comes in theaters in June, if I'm not mistaken. And as we live in Toronto, I'm assuming we'll probably get it.
Yeah.
It's going to air in like 3 cities. Toronto will be one of those 3 cities.
Nice.
If it's, I mean, it's going to get a wide release in that, I hope. But yeah, definitely.
New York, LA, Chicago.
I think, and I'm putting it down on the table right now, on the air, though we don't have any viewers right now. But I think we should do as much of a group viewing as we can. I think we should all go see the together if we can, or as many of us as we can get together.
Friendship. Yeah.
I believe it comes out in June, but I don't have a firm date on that. What's it?
I'm busy in June.
The whole month.
Yeah, June
I'm
1
sure
to
we'll
30.
Somehow we'll have fun without Matt. That's possible.
I don't think the concept exists yet, but there's always a first try.
But back to SNL and our Fantasy League. We don't come back for a couple more weeks. May 2nd brings Scarlett Johansson back to the show, which is good news for 2 of our Fantasy Leaguers, both Rob and Megan. Correctly predicted Scarlett Jo as a host for the season. No musical guest announced yet. Maybe she'll be doing both. As her favorite.
She can do her from her album of Tom Waits covers. Real thing.
That's good news for both of our Fantasy Leaguers there. Correctly predicted. Finally, another host, correct? And then I think there's a repeat of Franco next week, which I joked unoriginally that I should get double points for that. And then other than that, it's just repeats for a couple weeks for the next couple weeks, and then we're back in May. Oh my God, we're really winding down the clock here. May.
Yeah.
The next
It's coming down to the wire. I'm coming for you.
How many
Russell.
episodes? I think this is 18.
This was the 18th one, and I think they did 21 last year, so it'll probably be the same thing this year.
Yeah, so it's 3 more episodes at most, I think, probably.
Yeah.
Come on, Kristen Bell.
I've got no chance.
No, I don't have a chance. I'm like dead.
I need all 3 hosts to even stand. If you're averaging, 50 to 60 points, you said?
You'd have to have like 3 hosts with like 80 to like 100 points each
So
one.
you should probably talk to Rob about trading for Scarlett Johansson.
I don't know if Rob's going to go for that.
I don't know. We'll trick him. We'll bamboozle him.
I got Sods in the league, so I'm not in last.
Oh yeah, so that's a nice cushion to keep there.
Although we got 80 Bryant this week, so maybe.
Yeah.
80 only had 25 points this week.
Who knows? Maybe Sai got his music choices right this week.
Oh no, sorry, he had Vanessa Bayer as well.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Oh yeah. Sai's gonna cover behind him, win the whole thing.
With Vanessa Bayer in his pocket.
Yeah.
All right, so that's just about going to wrap it up for us this week. Again, I was the guest host filling in for Rob, who knows what he's doing. He just doesn't care anymore, I guess. Or maybe he felt bad for me being away for a month. But I'm Brian Edwards, and I was filling in for Rob. I hope I filled in. This is going to sound filthy. I'm going to stop right there. I filled in. There we go. I want to thank Kevin and Matt for joining me this week. Kevin, thank you very much.
Thank you. Like being the guest filling in for any of the other guests.
There we go. Thank you. You were Leah this week.
Should have worn a poncho.
Should have worn a poncho.
Turn that cardboard box behind you into a poncho.
And Kevin, where can people find you online if you want them to find you anywhere online?
They can find me on Twitter. It's Chicken Kievi at
Chicken Kievi. Nice. And Matthew Smith, once again, for 3 of my hosting jobs, you have been my co-host unofficially.
Ooh,
and thank you again.
Resume.
Well, no official titles. Don't get too excited.
Okay.
Don't start revising your resume yet.
Okay. And just like to say that Kevin and I will be on tour all week with the Electric Bastards trivia team, so come on out and see us. We'll be at Hitch on Monday, Lou Dogs on Tuesday, Cardinal Rule on Wednesday. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Cheer them on. I believe I'm joining you on Monday.
We're on a World Beaters tour right now.
Gotta take that trophy again.
Trivia starts at 8, so we'll be doing autographs for the half an hour before.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, once the game starts, like we're in a zone. So
all business.
Please don't approach us.
And Matt, where can people find you online?
Google.
Google Matt Smith. You should find him immediately.
I should come up first. I should be the first choice.
You can follow us on Twitter at DeepThoughtsSNL. You can also find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Trivia Club. And you can follow the whole crazy Fantasy League point breakdown and how it all works at triviaclub.blogspot.ca. And you can follow me on Twitter if you want at CoconutPhone77. And we're going to end with that. And with me, my plug. I'm in charge. I make the rules.
No, I defy these rules. We're going to end with me. I'm going to keep talking until you cut off the sound.
No, that's not how that works.
I could sing. Anytime I need to see your face, I just close my eyes and I am taken to a place where your custom mind image. I think I've done that on the podcast before, that Savage Garden song.
The worst ending ever.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, boys, and thank you for anyone who did watch and who's listening to this later, and hopefully Rob will come back. If not, I'm happy to fill in if need be. So hopefully you'll see you guys in a couple weeks for Scarlett Johansson.
Back to Australia with you.
Oh.